Guys, welcome back. So let me see if I can show you this without killing my fingers. So these larger magnets, these larger ring magnets were the ones I was going to, oh boy, now I got to try to get this out. All right, these were the ones I was going to use with these supports. But again, this little internal ring magnet, which is going to go on the shaft of the new Maglev, is still too small. So what I'm thinking about doing, and I printed out some new rotor mounts for these. These are smaller, and obviously they take up less room inside, which is what I'm looking for. Now I ordered some 3/4 inch ring magnets to fit inside this larger one. So I am still going to make the larger housing for the new Maglev. Let me show you in case you forgot. This guy, I want to keep it away from these guys. This guy here, which is really nice. And I'm going to make it so it's going to sit on this portion of this acrylic. I'm going to cut this out. And like I had told you earlier, I already made mounts, magnetic mounts, using ring magnets of this size, actually a little bit bigger. I showed it to you. It's way over there. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lessen the space between the OD of the smaller ring magnet and the ID of the larger one. Because the less space that's in between there, the more stable and sturdy the actual rotor will be. So printing these out is no big deal. These things fit perfectly in there. It's a press fit. Same thing with the larger ones and these. And of course, I've got all the acrylic in now. So I'm going to go ahead with the build using these smaller ring magnets and these smaller outer ring magnets. And I think it'll work just fine, because this, like I said, I think is too, even though it'll work, it's too wide. I mean, there's too much space there. And so, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this stuff, which is really the bulk of the project, is cutting all the acrylic and getting it nice and making backings for these guys. So I have a second backing for it. I'm either going to put acrylic in between or just put this like this and then put the acrylic there with a mount this way, you know, an L bracket. Same way I did the other Maglevs. The one that I was talking about before, the one that is over there, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can. It's the yellow and white one way over there. The whole thing was 3D printed. That's a true, fully 3D printed Maglev. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can get you guys over there so you could see it better. Yeah, you guys can, I don't know if I'm even getting it over there right. You guys can see that one over there. It's the yellow and white L-brack with the smaller Maglev in between. That's still a really good Maglev. I gotta play with that more. And that only has 2 magnets in it. It's just a 2 magnet rotor, whereas this guy's 4. Anyway, I just wanted to get you caught up on what was going on. Like I said, I ordered the 3/4 inch ring magnets, which I'm going to use with these larger ones. But for now, I'm going to build this one here. All right? Okay, stay tuned. One of the trickiest parts is done. Not trickiest, but time consuming, because cutting it on a bandsaw is very doable, but you got to go really slow. Otherwise, the acrylic will drift, it'll melt, it'll do all kinds. This stuff was actually pretty easy to cut. But now putting it together, I decided to use, I don't even know if it's showing up, to use ultra thin, clear, crazy glue just to get it to stick together, kind of. I'll probably in each corner drill 4 small holes and put in some brass screws, one from each side, and maybe one on each of the corners just to hold it together. Because again, although I want this to be functional, I also want it to look nice, right? All right, guys, welcome back really quick. I am so pissed. I thought I cleaned this off before I glued it together, and you could see there's like white. Oh, you know what? Maybe I did clean up. That's just the color of the crazy glue. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So I wanted to show you these things. I just finished printing these out, and they're 2 pieces. Okay, so I'm using a 6mm carbon fiber tube, and I put one on like this. So pretend this is the pretend. All right, so pretend it's this, right? And I'm setting up both of the ends to go inside the ring magnet. So I put one on like that. Then I take a magnet, and then I put the other end on like that. Pretty nice, huh? And then I put a ball bearing in there, or I glue a ball bearing. So now what I need to do is I need to figure out, because I'm doing these smaller ones. I need to figure out how deep. So if that's the magnet, you know what I mean? So I want it so that the end is there, and that's going to hold the magnet in there really nice. And the magnet has to be just about, so the outside edge of the magnet has to be on the outside edge of this magnet. And so that is a little bit too long. Yeah, that's a little bit too long. So what I need to do is, and I printed out a bunch of these. I'm going to have to print out a shorter one. And so I have one on this end, obviously, and then one on this end. Damn, I thought I had made it. I also printed out ones that just have a straight edge like that. And again, I'll have one like this. And it's a really nice tight fit on there. Put the magnet on, and then put this guy on there. Oops. I'll get the other one. Yeah, it's a really tight fit. Oh. And so that's definitely too long. So what I'll need to do is, this is the right size. It just has to be a little bit shorter. It only takes like 7 minutes to print these out. And I printed these out of the copper infused PLA. And I thought I was going to have to glue everything on here, but I don't think I will. I mean, I probably will anyway, but it seems to be really, really tight. This one's too tight. But that's okay. I can print these out a dime a dozen. But yeah, so putting this guy on there, making sure that the end goes right to the base of the cup. Oh, you know what? Instead of printing out more of these, what I could do, no, because I'm going to have the acrylic here, and the ball bearing is going to be sitting up against a glass disc. I have some over here. These glass discs, these things are great. And the ball bearing will be up against that. So, yeah, I'm either going to need to use another one of these, like just another spacer. Yeah, that will work. That will work. I might have to do that on both sides. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do that on both sides. So it's a good thing I printed out a bunch of extra of these, just like that. And then I'll have the acrylic, and then this guy. Oh, but you know what? I can't because I put the holes in the different spot. That's okay. I can print out another one of these, or I can just print out a shorter one of these. I think I like this the way it is, so I'll just print out another one of these. But I just kind of wanted to show you how these came out. And I printed these out using the ultra fast profile from Chep, Filament Friday. Chuck, he's fantastic. I mean, oh my God, he's changed the way I print because of him and a couple of other guys on YouTube. But Chuck created the fast profile. And then I learned something from him that I didn't realize, that I can make changes within the fast profile. So this is the fast profile, but it's at a 0.12 layer height. So it's a super fine layer height. And the finer the layer height, the stronger the part. Because I was really afraid that these were not going to be strong enough, but they are. Pretty cool, huh? And that should fit in the magnet just right. So let me, yeah, so that will work, but I can't use this guy with it because it's not, these are for the larger magnets. These guys here, for when I do the larger, when I get those in. So that's why I don't even think I'm going to need to even glue these, because I really don't want to, because I want to change it to the bigger magnet when I get those in, the 3/4 inch round. These are 1/2 inch OD. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you that because I'm really psyched how these came out. I created them in Fusion 360. It's really not that hard. I mean, you simply do a simple diagram and then you push pull. And anyway, just wanted to show you that. Let me figure out how I'm going to do this. If in fact I'm going to, yeah, I think I'm going to create, because I think this is a perfect thickness. And if I go like that, and it has the ball bearing on there, I might have to put the ball bearing on there and do a measurement. Anyway, just to show you what it would look like completed. So there's the ball bearing on there, and it will go up against the glass, and that's like super low friction. The ball bearing up against the glass. That is really nice. That's a beautiful setup. I can't believe it took me this long to figure out. I went through how many freaking prototypes of this, all these different iterations, and I finally figured out the perfect way to do it. Hey, practice makes perfect, right? And I picked the perfect size. Yeah, that fits in there really nice and snug. That should be good. All right, just wanted to show you that. All right, so again, the hardest part is cutting this stuff and then gluing it together. So I have the two end caps, or the two end backs for the bearing housing. I mean, for the ring magnet housing. So these will go on those like that. And I doubled them up. They're 3/8 inch thick. So I doubled them up to give it more strength. And I'm printing out 2 more of these plain backs for spacers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to print out 2 more, or actually I'm going to print out several more at like 2 millimeters thick, a millimeter thick, just so I can get the spacing perfect. Like I said earlier, the spacing for the magnet, for the shaft magnet to be perfectly, the edge of this little magnet has to be right on the edge, or actually in a little bit by about a half a millimeter, and then it gets locked in there on both ends. I'm trying to figure out if I should. I think what I'm going to do is get some 1/2 inch and attach it to the back of this so that most of this is sitting flat on the base. Anyway, it'll make more sense once you see it all together, or as I put it together. Kind of want to take you guys on that one a little bit.
Welcome back.
All right, stay tuned. Dag nabbit. So I set this guy up. So I have the 1/2 inch acrylic. That's going to be the L bracket base for the 2 pieces of 3/8 that are glued together. Problem is I did it the wrong way. It should be this way. So now I have to glue 2 pieces of 3/8 together, which I didn't want to do because I don't know how strong it's going to be when I go to cut it, because I need to drill it and then cut out 2 channels so that this will slide on the acrylic so I can lock it in. Same way I've done all my other Maglevs. It makes it a lot easier to be able to pull it back and to do that. And so I've got this one. I'm gluing them just for temporary hold. I'm going to screw them in. I'm going to screw them together. And this end here is going to be a stationary end, and this end will be the sliding end. That's how I usually do it. Anyway, I'm so pissed because this was the last piece of 1/2 inch that I had. I could probably get away by turning it this way and just cutting a channel here and here, but this is too close to the edge here. I wanted it to be further away like this, because I've got screws that are going to go into here from the other side. Well, you guys will see when it gets done. But I'm so pissed. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. This is what happens when I am not paying attention and I start moving too quickly. Let me put my files back. Anyway, yeah, so it's going to take a little bit longer than I thought, because now I got to wait for this guy to, excuse me, to get glued together really nice and tight. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to drill 4 holes in here and put these, not set screws, what are they called? I forget what they're called, but yeah, anchors, or and I was just at the hardware store looking at them. I know what they're called. Anyway, I'm sure Magnetis will remind me of what they're called, and I'll remember it the second I stop this video, because that's how it always is. Yeah, they're anchor screws, or anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys know what they are. So I'll put those in there and then screw these bolts, not these bolts right here will go in through the top of this guy into there, and then there'll be a channel cut out. I mean, I could use this one, but it's not as wide, and it's only not as wide by about 10 millimeters, maybe a 1/4 inch. I could split the difference, but no. I'll glue these two together and go from there. Oh, and really quick, the reason why, I just realized the reason why I can't use this way is because this is the factory edge. And I wanted the factory edge to be up against the vertical piece to keep it 90 degrees, or to help keep it 90 degrees. And I can't really get the non-factory edge perfectly straight. I mean, I probably could, but yeah, I need the factory edge. And to add insult to injury, I only have one factory edge on one of these pieces. So I have to hope that I can flatten that. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, so dag nabbit. I may still try to use this guy and just start a new track here, because I do have that factory edge. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. Stay tuned. All right, this is a sign that it's time to stop, because I'm doing sloppy ass work. You know, yeah. I mean, it's not too bad, but this is thinner than this. It's just sloppy work. Ugh. I need to order 1/2-inch acrylic and do it right. God, it pisses me off. I mean, I can still use it, but it's just all over the place sloppy. I mean, it'll work once I push that together like that. It'll stand 90, but wait, is that the right end? Yeah, that's the right end. It's just sloppy work, especially considering my other Maglev. Well, let's go see what that one looks like as far as sloppy work, or as far as... Yeah, see, that one's... Yeah, that's a lot better. Is that 1/2-inch? Yeah, that's 1/2-inch. Yeah, I need to order some 1/2-inch. Making my way around my crowded ass shop. It's my wall of stuff. Anyway, I really don't want to stop, but I should, because I'm getting tired, and when I get tired, I do sloppy work. I start rushing, and I start making goofy ass mistakes, and actually, this is just a support. So, no, nope, I'm going to order some 1/2-inch plexiglass or acrylic and be done with it. Maybe I'll continue on. What do you guys think? So this is the setup, much smaller than my other Maglevs. It's the same size as the all complete 3D printed one, where I have these. I don't have any acrylic for the brackets for the ring magnet backing. That one over there with the orange and white. I don't know if you can see it. But this one, this is for this new, come on, this new super heavy, yeah, this is really heavy, this heavy Maglev. And I want to make sure, oops, oh, that was stupid. Anyway, I want to make sure that it has some girth to it. So yeah, I'm going to order the 1/2 inch for the mounting. And I may even, no, this one's okay because this is going to be stationary. Yeah, let me order that and we'll get back to work. Ciao. All right, so I got really frustrated because I kept cracking the acrylic. So I'm going to order some, I'm going to order some, oh, why isn't it? It was just working. I mean, it was just producing back EMF. Hold on a second. Let me see what happened. What's really bizarre is when I connect the load, it seems to speed up. Anyway, this was the other maglev I was telling you about. And this one has 2 magnets in it. And it's not very, oops. It's a little on the louder side, but if I give it a little bit of pressure, but it works really well. So I'm thinking until the 1/2 inch acrylic comes in, I'm going to set this guy up. Yeah, I have it on the, there it goes. Yeah, that's weird. Depending on where I put the hall sensor, I get more output. I did not realize that. This guy's got a little bit of a wobble in it too, but it works really good. What I need to do is put the new one in there with the larger magnets. It has a wobble because it's all 3D printed. I thought I had tightened it up. I mean, it's still working really well. All right, let me see what I can do as far as finishing this setup, which you can see is a much larger magnet, on the new rotor and getting it mounted into this puppy and see what we can do. All right, stay tuned.